So joining me, big story coming in from France at this point of time. France has declared a state of maximum emergency after a 70-year-old woman was beheaded in Nice. 3 people were killed. There have been multiple terror attacks in France. I quickly want to cut across to India Today's Koel, who joins us live from Paris. Koel, does fear stalk the streets of France at this point of time? Or is there confrontation between those who are battling radical Islam?
Hi, Gaurav. I'm going to turn my camera around just to answer your question of whether fear is on the streets of Paris. This is right now the streets of Paris. I don't know if you can see clearly, but all the streets are packed. That's because lockdown comes into place in literally a few hours. We're going to go back into confinement. And so, yes, there is a lot of anger on the streets with all these killings, with repeated terror attacks. But in terms of fear, I don't see much of that around. I think there's a lot of resilience here.
Brilliant, because this is a fight for free speech. It's a fight for liberty, Koel.
Absolutely. It's one of the biggest values that is held very dear in France, which is freedom of speech, which is freedom of liberty. And in fact, it's ironical because all the refugees and people who tend to get radicalized come here and enjoy this liberty of being able to practice their own religion, to being able to express themselves they want, being able to protest the way they want. And somewhere along the line, that message gets abused, that liberty gets abused. But it is something that the president and the people of France are very clear about, that they will not bow down when it comes to freedom of speech, no matter what that freedom of speech entails. And therein lies the problem, because sometimes there are some communities that feel that the freedom of speech itself is being pushed beyond what is correct, beyond what is considered, taking the other person into account.
Fair enough. So is there a roadmap on how does France deal with this situation, especially when we've seen a lot of attacks within France and a lot of criticism coming in from several Islamic countries?
Well, Macron was right there. President Macron, he said that we will not bow down. A lot of, including Prime Minister Modi, has shown support. All the European leaders have shown support. Let's not forget that the biggest Muslim population is in France, in the Western world, is in France. Yes. There are some over 5 million Muslim community here. Most of them, in fact, majority of them are not radicalized, and they do not condone. In fact, they completely criticize what has gone down. President Macron has also said there will be 7,000 plus anti-terrorist police on the streets starting today. But the point is that the country is going into lockdown starting tonight. So I don't think there will be any such incidents or any opportunities of such incidents. But you never know, because schools remain open. There is a bit of that fear. And tomorrow, when everyone goes, not tomorrow, on Monday, when everyone goes back to school, the first day of school, all the schools around the country will hold a 2-minute silent prayer for for Samuel Paty, and for the terrorist attacks that have gone down since.
And now that France goes into its second lockdown, are people following norms? What are the do's and don'ts for people? And this is a nationwide lockdown. How long is it likely to be?
Well, the carrot at the end of this lockdown is, if you behave yourselves, if you, follow the rules really strictly, then you will have a good Christmas at the end of it. So lockdown at the moment is supposed to continue till mid-December, or at least till the 1st of December. But every 2 weeks, the government will assess the situation to see whether they will increase the measures or decrease the measures of confinement. At the moment, we're back to only essential services operating, but everyone has been told that work from home, this is not a holiday, the economy needs you, please do the best you can, and for that reason, they have kept the schools open, especially the schools of younger children and the creches of younger children, because in France, both parents work most of the time. It's very difficult to have a young kid, and I know this personally, it's very difficult to have a young kid at home. So we're grateful the schools will remain open, but for how long, no one knows. And everyone is stocked up, including me. We've gone to the hairdressers, we've gone to the grocery stores, got our supplies. It's going to be a long, hard winter. As you can see, it's only 6 o'clock, but it's pitch dark already. It's cold. I'm wearing my warm jacket. It's not going to be an easy confinement.
It clearly will not be, but wish you all the best. Stay safe, stay healthy, and do follow all the norms. I'm sure you would. We will keep coming back to you. But for the moment, Koil, many thanks for joining me. That is all we have time for on India First this evening. Many thanks for watching.